This morning, as COVID cases mount across the country, the mask debate is intensifying.
People are very passionate on both sides of the great mask debate.
The partisan mask debate is heating up.
Mask debate's growing.
The president is trying to have us cover the mask debate.
CVS, Target, and Walgreens are getting in on the mask debate.
The mask debate now taking center stage at local restaurants.
It's 9 minutes after 6 now, and there's new video of a raging mask debate. The mask debate in Georgia is getting ugly.
The great mask debate in West Virginia might soon be coming to an end.
This mask debate is far from over.
How many mask debates have you gotten into? Love to hear it.
The mask debate was taken to a whole nother level.
Bishop David Zubik tells Pittsburgh's Action News 4 he found himself in the middle of a mask debate.
And we'll dive deeper into this pet store mask debate.
So we're going to begin with this thing we're calling the great mask debate.
This morning, as COVID...
Good morning. Welcome, everybody, to the Weekend Welcome Call. I'm Adam AF. Hail the arch villains. Joining me today, we've got Doc Hogg, Mr. David Hogenberg.
I hear I'm going to be part of a big mask debate at the next Burning Man. So
is that right?
Darn right.
I've been in quite a few large mask debates.
We get in a circle and well, never mind.
Oh man, once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
No, I was like, why is he doing masks? And then as it went, it's like, oh,
yeah,
like, wow,
the great masturbate. The guy at the very end of the clip too, like he's in the interview and he hears it, and he tries not to laugh, stifle that chuckle.
I particularly like the priest or the bishop. He's like, I'm in the middle of a found himself in the middle of a.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
I tell you what. Some people are ragging really hard on like 2020 as a year. I think this year has been utterly hilarious.
Well, I'm honestly glad there's only 5 months left. I'm more on the side of it being not a particularly great year. Although I have to keep reminding myself that a lot of good things have happened to me this year, including, getting the first Tilt campaign and the fact that I was able to, have the campaign be a success in the middle of the pandemic. So I got to keep, reminding myself that in many ways it has been a good year. But, I watch the news for a living. So, it's depressing more so than usual. So I am ready for it to be over.
It's definitely had its ups and downs, but it has given me just endless material to work with.
Obviously.
I mean, there's been some weeks where I'll go through and I'll bookmark things that I want to show or talk about, and there are a lot of times I don't get to half of it because we get off on a tangent talking about this topic or the other, and it gets swept under the rug. But that one, I was like, that would be a great way to intro this week's show. Great mass debate. So yes, you are the creator of Tilt. It's in demand right now. You've got 171 backers sitting at just over $4,000, just about to break that 4,500 mark.
Yeah, I have about. Let me see here. There are basically 4 tiers that you can back at now. There's the PDF one. You can get. You can get both the standard cover and the variant cover for $20. I have these limited because I probably should have printed more than I did, but lesson learned. At any rate, there are 9 of those left. There's the standard cover. There's 7 of those left. And then if you just only want the variant cover, there's 1 of those left. And I still have decks of cards and Lenore's pinup, and then of course the 2 of the things you just showed right there are the pinups that come along since I met my stretch goal of $4,000. So, and this morning on your show, I am going to be launching the sign up page. So, whenever you're ready to go, I will just hit publish.
Let's do it.
All right,
let's launch that sign up page for issue 2 and get this rocking and rolling.
All right, let's hit publish here. Okay, congratulations, your page is now live. And there we go. I will, let's see here. Why don't I share screen? And, before I do
We got Aaron Calimeri in the chat. He says, "Hurry! Announce that I'm a badass." Well, you're a badass, Aaron. Why aren't you in the show? You got the link. Get in here, asshole. Come on, badass. Come on, Billy Badass. All right, you're good to screen share?
Yeah, I am. Hang on a second here. Yeah, I'll screen. I'm trying to put the link in your chat here real quick, so you can. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, good to screen share now.
All right, boom. All
And,
right, so our sign-up page is live.
Yeah, and you will get a free tilt magnet if you sign up. I'm not entirely certain what's going to be on the magnet yet. It is probably something that I will be pulling from the main cover, which you see part of it here. I will screen share something else when we can. You can see the full main cover. Let me screen share something else now.
Let's see. Aaron says that I wasn't paid my appearance fee. Yeah, sorry. Due to the cutbacks and the corona, all appearance fees have been canceled. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. All righty, go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, this is the cover for Tilt issue 2. It was actually on the back cover of Tilt issue 1. So if you backed it, you would probably know that this is the this is the cover. And this was drawn and colored by David Ocampo. He's just done a wonderful job. And this is actually based on a scene that's going to be in issue 2. One of my favorite scenes of all time in any movie is from the Steven Seagal movie Under Siege. I'm particularly talking about the scene with Erica Eleniak jumping out of the cake.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
That's
oh, my
classic
God.
And iconic.
Classic, iconic, and, you know, it's part of the great masks debate. So yeah, there's going to be again, I'm not doing any I'll just say I'm not doing any actual nudity, but there's an awful lot of hints to it, and you know, there will be scenes kind of like this in the comic book. So but at any rate, yeah, the gist here is that they're going to go after the mobsters at the head mobster Johnny Bricca at his birthday party. And the way she sets them up is that she poses as the stripper jumping out of the cake. So that is going to be a big scene. And the sort of the elevator pitch of the slogan for this one is the superheroes meet the Sopranos, and the Sopranos get whacked. So it's going to be, I think it's fair to say, a bit of a bloodbath this time around. And that will be leading into issue 3. It's gonna. I've said before that this is going to be a 3-issue story arc, and I will be finishing it up with issue 3. I will have probably at least 2 tiers this time around where you can get drawn into the comic again. Had 4 of those available this last time. I'm thinking 2 this time, but I might up it to 3. And what else? The deck of probably going to offer 2 pinups this time instead of just the one that I did with Lenore. And where is the deck of cards? Last time it was just the back of the deck of cards said Tilt on it. This time I'm going to have custom figures for the Jacks. I'm already mask debating. I'll zoom in and I'll go back and zoom in. But this time we're going to have custom kings, queens, and jacks, and also I'll have figures on the cards that are the aces as well. And I've lined up artists for the jacks and for the kings to draw them. Lenore is doing the queens. This here is the Queen of Hearts. And this here is the Queen of Diamonds. She has not yet done the other two queens just yet because I just told her to do these two. And then I just recently decided, David, if you're going to have different artists, just have one do all the queens, the other do all the kings, and the other do all the jacks. So
I like that idea.
So those that side will be custom, and let's go back to the great mask debate. Yeah, there we go.
Mm-mm.
How we doing?
There we go.
Get that. Okay.
Very nice. I like what you said you did. How you put the cover to issue 2 on the back of the cover for issue 1 on the back of issue 1. That's a very kind of old school classic comic book style where that last page, shows you that, next month coming in Spider-Man, it's got the preview of the cover there to lead you in. It's a good teaser, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate that because, I kind of had to scramble a little toward the end because I had one artist I thought was going to be lined up to do the back cover, and then he wasn't able to do it. So I had to scramble, and David Ocampo came through and in flying through with flying colors, so to speak. And I'm just I appreciate that because that was my intention is to have people. Hold on! Hey!
Well, the child is wreaking havoc behind you. It sounds like.
He's taking his plastic baseball bat. We just got a TV in here yesterday, and he went to town on the styrofoam. He's taking his plastic baseball bat to some styrofoam. Got a new TV in here yesterday, and he went to town on the styrofoam inserts, and he's still going to town on them. So. At any rate, that's really I wanted to give people a preview of what was going to come, and I wanted the backers to be sort of the first to know that this was going to be the cover for issue 2, and it's all worked out well, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, we got Tonpa in the chat. It says, "Oh my." We also got Daddy Dieter Pops Culture. Hail, brethren. Good evening, all the way from Japan. Good evening to you. We also have Hex Allen Comics. Well, hello. Good morning. Good morning. I know. Starting off the day right.
How is Rosetta doing?
That is not who you think it is. This is somebody that is not Rose.
Isn't it? It's not her husband.
Not to my knowledge. I guess it could be.
Okay, must not be Rosetta then. Sorry.
I'm not sure. Hex Allen shows up. He's here, or I guess I should say they are here because I'm not sure. I don't want to misgender anybody here. This is the Woke Up Show. We're trying to be as politically correct as possible, but they show up. They're here pretty often. I don't think that's any relation to Rose though.
Okay, I must. Yeah.
Last I heard, she's doing very well. She is working on a blood hunt paddle for me. Yes, is right.
I am actually going to be purchasing one of her paddles sometime this week. Some nice art.
Who would have thought when CG launched, was 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it kind of came into being, that we'd be doing CG sex toys.
Well, who knew?
Who knew, right?
Who knew we'd be having a big mask debate? So
that's true too. Nobody would have guessed that. Hex Allen says, "I'm a man baby." Well, that's okay. We won't hold that against you. So let's see. So we were talking a little bit in the pre-show. I feel like the big news this week was Bleeding Fool launched the second installment of their Whisper network, and it was a doozy, man. I mean, the first installment. I mean, most of it was stuff that we had assumed was going on. We pretty much knew was going on, but they actually dug down and found some solid proof of this this Facebook group between women, LGBTQ, and POC creators, essentially trying to take over mainstream comics.
Mm-hmm.
And in this installment, what really blew my mind was this revelation that Bill Willingham, who is a huge comic professional, he's been around forever. He did the Fables series for Vertigo, amongst many other things. I think he wrote Superman for a time, but he apparently had hired one Stephanie Cooke years ago as his personal assistant.
Yeah.
She embezzled, allegedly embezzled around $10,000 from his accounts. And the comic book news media apparently just swept it under the rug. The only website that reported on it was Bleeding Cool, Rich Johnson's site. And after he reported on it, it seems that he immediately took the article down.
Yeah. It seems to have had no coverage at all. And, without a little bit of at least extended coverage, it's very easy for these things to go right down the memory hole. And yeah, he said here, Willingham did. It needs to be reported that during the 3 years that she worked for me, Stephanie Cooke embezzled and outright stole from me to a total in excess of $10,000. Fortunately, I can't give you anything. I can't give you anything approaching an exact figure yet, as we're still uncovering instances of theft. And this
happened back in 2015. This was 5 years ago.
Yeah. So he basically went public with this because she's still out there trying to tout herself as an assistant for comic book creators, and he wanted to warn people. But yeah, it makes you wonder: was this swept under the rug? Because apparently she is part of that Facebook group, and part of the Whisper Network. So it's if you're covering for someone because they're part of this network and they're actually stealing from creators, does certainly not that we didn't have already plenty of ample reason to question the journalistic integrity of a number of these sites, but this really kind of bells the cat, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah, and I've spoken with Rich Johnson a few times on some different issues and whatnot. He's usually pretty good about responding to people on Twitter. He doesn't have that many actual fans, so like when people talk to him, he's like, "Oh God, somebody wants to talk to me," But I reached out to him for a comment on this. Why? I just asked him. I was like, "Why did you take the article down?" And I got zero response. I was really hoping I would get some kind of some wishy-washy excuse out of him, but he didn't even give me that. I was really kind of disappointed with it.
Yeah. Well, I think I actually was wondering because I had asked. I remember we talked about this on Indie Comic Stream about a week after it was released, and I remember we had sent both Jeremy and I had sent tweets, DMs to Bleeding Fool asking when was Part 2 coming. And I was a little worried that I can't remember who it was, but one of the women who had been, I don't think she had been actually mentioned, but she was definitely an ally of some of the people in the Whisper Network had mentioned kind of this stuff was actionable in a court of law under libel or slander. I always forget which one's the written word, not spoken. But at any rate, I was worried that had that they decided to discontinue this thing because because of that threat to be dragged into court. And it's good to see that. They are following up, and there is going to be more because if we'd only gotten that first article, oh man, we would have been like, okay, what more is there to this? I mean, it looks like this network's been doing some serious damage, and there's a lot to be exposed here, and we really need to know.
Yeah, no, I got a hats off. I don't always agree with Bleeding Fool on some of the stuff that they write, but I will give them credit for having some journalistic integrity, sticking to their guns and saying we're going to do our best to uncover the truth of what's going on here. And like you said, that first article just barely scratched the surface. You know, it was kind of like, all right, you teased me. Now what else you got for me? Well, this one definitely, I sat there, I read this article from start to finish, like in a trance, because of some of the things that they talk about in here. My wife was sitting on the other couch and she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Shh, I'm reading an article." Shh. She's like, "You hardly ever read articles." And I was like, "I know, but this is a doozy and I need to know what happens next." I want so badly. I want a Netflix docuseries on this Whisper Network.
I doubt Netflix would even touch that.
I think that would just be amazing, though. Like uncovering the secrets of what goes on behind the scenes of the mainstream comic book industry, I think would blow people's fucking minds.
Yeah, I do. One thing I get out of this is that you know that a Facebook group like that could have this kind of influence. It does make me wonder if the comic book industry is too small, because this seems awfully incestuous here, and you know this group should not have this kind of influence. I mean, I can't. You can think of so many other industries where it doesn't seem like a group like this would have that kind of influence. They might be able to influence things here or there, but you know, the industry would be just too big, so that, you know, if you did damage to somebody's career with one company, there'd be, you know, a dozen other companies, you know, flying in to hire the guy. So I just, you kind of get the sense that this industry is just too small and maybe also a sense of how the bad shape that the industry is in, you know, because it seems to be so small.
Yeah, well, that actually kind of leads me into what else I wanted to bring up here that kind of ties in with this whole Whisper Network thing. And this came out just the other day. Let's see what the date on it was. Let's get it pulled up here. So yeah, this was the 31st. Here we have Patton Oswalt retweeting Tess Fowler of her taking a shot at Artsy Bear and company because they were, quote, laughing at her having brain cancer. Did you see this?
No.
Yeah. So the original tweet from Tess Fowler is, "Here's Ethan Van Sciver and some of his Comicsgate friends discussing my having cancer being an act of God I deserve. Artsy Bear is here too, laughing away. This is Comicsgate. EVS can lie and put a happy face on his hate movement all he wants, but this is who they are."
I'd actually like to see the clip.
Yeah, let's play the clip.
Yeah, because somehow I'm not entirely convinced of her veracity here.
As you should not be. So here is the clip that she says that they are laughing at her having brain cancer.
So Tess Fowler has cancer now, and Tess Fowler is unable to work. Tess Fowler tweets out that she thinks this is it. She's never had the ability to work taken from her before. Me neither, Tess. Fuck you. You know, I mean, absolutely. What am I supposed to feel sorry for you? Fuck you. You know, this is the thing. I don't wish cancer on anybody. But you did nothing but spend your time in this wonderful but frivolous business trying to hurt people, including me. You know, is that right, Cecil? Am I right to say that?
Oh yeah, no, they want to destroy you. They want you to kill yourself and not be able to feed your family. I don't think I don't know what kind of cancer she has. I think I got her confused with Mags. I think she had ovarian.
There is the joke right there. Is
they're not laughing. They're laughing at
they're laughing at Mags having ovarian cancer.
Yeah, because she doesn't have any ovaries.
Correct.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he said he doesn't wish cancer on anyone, but you know, he's you know, I mean, I think maybe a little too bitter there, but you could criticize him for that. But he's not making fun of her having cancer. He's saying, you know, he's saying, you know, I've had trouble working, and I've had, you know, people trying to drive me out of this industry, and so I don't feel bad about you not working. Not
Exactly.
that, not that I don't feel bad about you having cancer. I mean, I hope she beats the cancer. I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. But
no.
that's not what she's again taking this completely out of context and distorting it. I mean, I can't. It's like I've watched Ethan enough that he and seen him in action enough that I know he can be bitter about things, but I don't get the sense that at his heart he's a cruel person. I mean, I remember a couple of months ago there was some guy who had been attacking him on Twitter, and then tried to get. I can't remember whether he was sick or whether he was out of work or something, and was asking for donations to his GoFundMe page, and actually tweeted something to Ethan, quoting Ethan about how Comicsgate helps people. Well, live up to, the gist of it was live up to it here.
Okay.
And Ethan was upset at the tweet, but he said, I think he retweeted it. So, and then he said, I donated money, and I actually donated $25 myself because I had a little money. And I think I was, my Uber thing that I was doing at the time, this was around the pandemic and things were starting to go south. I donated as well. But I mean, who, if he's such a cruel person, why is, and it was really, you should have seen the tweet. I mean, it was not, look, I'm sorry about all this stuff I've said about you and done, but I really could use some help here, please. It was, I am the tone of it was, I'm a morally superior person to you. You said that Comicsgate helps people, so why don't you prove it to me and help me? I mean, that was really the tone. Yeah. And still, Ethan retweeted it. Still, Ethan, I'm believing him here, donated to the guy's campaign. All right, that's not the mark of someone who has a cruel heart.
No, well, no, and that's such a shitty thing to do, because
I'm going to go through my Twitter folder here and see if I've got that stuff somewhere. Because but no, go ahead. I'm listening.
I feel like that's a shitty thing to do, because yes, CG helps out, but we help out our own because we're all helping each other out. So when one of our own, has something happen to them, some tragedy comes up, going back to last year. I think it was last year, maybe even the year before. Time just moves weird for me. We had, in the same week, we had John Malin's nephew passed away, and then Anna's sister passed away. And, they both had GoFundMes. The war campaign guys started a war chest initially for Malin. And then when that happened to Anna's sister, it was decided that the war chest would be split. Half would go to Malin's family and half would go to Anna's family. We take care of our own. We don't just help any, call me cruel, but bum off of the street who's panhandling for money. I mean, we helped Carla Tornielli and John Gallagher out when their house burned down. Everybody pitched in and threw it some money to help them, get back on their feet. And obviously they were eternally grateful. When one of our own is in trouble, yes, we are going to drop what we're doing and help each other out.
Yeah, I mean, Alejandro Garcia was another. I mean, he was doing a lot of Uber, and his car got in an accident.
I remember that too.
And I said, all right, fine, I've got a little time. Let me set up a GoFundMe page for you, and we got him. We got him enough help. I mean, as far as I know, he's doing fine. So yeah, I mean, there is a very generous spirit that runs through a lot of Comicsgate. And look, I'll say this: if some SJW were ever who had ever been a total troll to me, had come to me and said, look, I know we've had our differences. I know, and I just had been a little bit humble and said, but look, I'm really in this tight situation. Would you help? I don't think I'd say no. I mean, it would depend, I suppose, on how much of a jerk they'd been to me. But I don't want people in trouble, suffering. I mean, I've always been involved in politics one way or another for a long time. And, I see someone on the other side who's in a real jam. I mean, I'm not gonna, you want your heart to go out to them and help a little bit if you can. So, yeah, there's this various generous spirit that goes through Comicsgate, and it's oh man, did I not?
We got all about the books in the chat. Says they took his career and threatened his family. I would go a lot harder at these fucks. Yeah, see the one part in this clip that she did, I can't say that I agree with her, but that she got right was the next, and it was a joke. Again, it was EVS making a joke. So let's finish out this clip while you continue.
Sure.
You're confused with Mags?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Who knows?
3 people getting cancer.
It is sad. It is sad. Boo hoo hoo. Look.
Ethan's got fucking powers. Don't you know this? You fuck with them and bad things are gonna happen.
This was the other joke.
This is a weird thing. God will strike you down. It's not within my control. It's just something that tends to happen, Cecil.
Yeah.
That God will strike you down if you go against CBS, and that's been a joke for a long time.
Craziness.
I need to hear this story. You've seen it, like actually, like this miracle.
Well, I just see anybody who goes against them, and within a short time, they're begging on the internet for fucking money, and they can't. They're destitute. There's fucking illnesses. There's just he's like the fucking the plagues of Egypt in living form.
See, so that's the joke that she's I feel like most upset about, because she says that cancer is an act of God that she deserves. Like, that has been a joke for a long time, that EVS's enemies will get struck down by God, will be smited.
Yeah, I don't see them actually saying, this is not. I actually do have some of the tweets here. I don't know. Gosh. Well. Okay. Yeah, actually, I do have it here. So, this was someone called Sci-Fi Designs, but yeah, no, I'm listening to that.
Oh, I do. Okay, I do remember that.
And look, I don't hear anything there about them making fun of her cancer. In fact, I think this notion to them that God strikes people down. I mean, I think if they were to actually hear someone say that seriously, based on their tone here, they would mock that person. I mean, I don't think they take that very seriously. This notion that
because most of them don't believe in God anyhow.
And I don't know God, and do I think God maybe punishes people? I mean, I believe in God. Maybe he does, but he works in mysterious ways, and I can't. I'm certainly, just because you believe in God doesn't mean you have to believe that he goes out and punishes people for their sins in whatever way. At any rate,
I believe in karma.
Yeah,
I think karma has a very strong hand, and if you are not a good person, not good things will happen to you. If you are a good person, good things will come to you.
Yeah,
but
I don't think you can automatically say though that something bad happens to a person. Oh, that's definitely karma for something they did. I mean, it may or may not be, but I just I don't. At any rate, I don't really. I guess I'm a little uncomfortable with this topic, so why don't we move to the tweets if that's all right?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, let's see.
We got Vazin Kazi in the chat says, "Don't ever shake hands with Ethan, Angel of Death, Van Sciver."
It was this guy. His wife had cancer, not him. So you can share my screen. Yeah, I'll try to. I don't think I've got great resolution on this, but let me see if I can. Most of you know I'm on a mission to get this link out to all that I can to help my wife beat cancer. Ethan Van Sciver, CG Yakuza, has a huge following. I've heard him say many times CG is a caring group. I'm asking him to prove that and show love.
That's funny in itself, because CG Yakuza is not EVS.
Yeah.
It's somebody who LARPs as EVS.
I'm asking him to prove that and show love. You're asking him to prove that, again, and I think this was I actually responded. I said, why is it up to Ethan to prove anything? Maybe after attacking Van Sciver, you should apologize and perhaps even grovel a bit, saying like, I'm sorry I attacked you, but I could really need help. I really need help for my wife.
Yeah.
And And then let's see. Don't let me ever meet you. Your wife deserves better than your karma. And thinking about
karma.
Yeah, you just threatened me. I mean, thinking of Andrea, why the hell do your jeans have the knees of your? This is the stuff he was saying to Ethan months before. Why do the knees of your jeans all have holes in them? Also, Andrea, why do you come home wearing Joker cosplay? I mean, I used to think Ethan's could improve, but he just suggested that. No, I don't think he is suggesting that at all. I think he's, this guy has, been nasty to him. I mean, here it is. Why do and why just the smeared lipstick? Again, suggesting that Ethan's out there. Well,
see, this guy. It's. I don't know. It's not.
And then he plays the victim. Okay, I'm done responding to Ethan and his gang of monsters. I asked to bury the hatchet and hoped he would share a simple link to help a person in need. Instead, I get dogpiled by all of his minions. My bad. No, you didn't ask to bury the hatchet. You put all the onus on him. Let's be honest here. I've heard him. I'm asking him to prove that and show love. All the onus is on him. You're kind of, I don't know exactly what's going on in this guy's mind, but it's like you're kind of coming to Ethan with hat in hand. But instead of coming to him kind of with hat in hand, you're coming to him with almost like a metaphorical club and saying, "You better do this, or otherwise, you're a bad person." I mean,
yeah, his tone is all wrong.
Yeah, and still Ethan donated to his wife's GoFundMe page. It's I don't know. I just I could just go on about I could go on about internet anonymity and how the fact that you get to hide behind a screen, people get to hide behind a screen, they say things they would never say to your face.
Yeah.
And just the the enormous meanness of some of this stuff, and but it's all been said before. So
we got Michael Beacon in the chat. Hail, brother. He says, I never bought that guy's story. It stank of grift.
Well, then I got grifted because I know I donated, I think, $25 because someone has cancer. So
yeah, it's tough to decide what's real and what's not. Like you said, it's the internet. There's a lot of people out there that'll just take advantage. This guy could have, who knows if this guy's actually even married.
Well, yeah, you don't know, and a lot of things you just have to kind of take on faith. I mean,
you are just a good person. You were like, okay, this guy needs help. I'm going to help him out. Here's $25. Not like you gave him $1,000 or anything, but
no, yeah. And I mean, I don't know if I'm a good person, but I'll say I have my moments.
Well, you try. You try.
Yeah. Speaking of good people, why don't you want to come here real quick and say hi, big guy? Yeah. This is my pride and joy. Yeah. This is Charles. Say hi. Oh, you need to go pause the video. He'll be right back. He needs to pause this video. So.
Okay.
Oh, no, I guess he doesn't need. He needs to. I'm not sure why we're bringing up the bottle that he filled up with water here, but he filled it up with water and put something plastic. It's creative. It's creative. So
very nice.
Can you do breaking the law? There we go. There.
Yeah. Yeah, you do something right over there, man.
He actually he knows a bunch of the songs on Judas Priest's 1980 album. What was it? Goodness. British Steel. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It is a good one.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Yeah, Michael says, nothing against you, Doc. You did a good thing. I just didn't trust that asshole one bit.
I didn't take his Mike. I didn't take your comment as an any way a criticism of me, and even if it had been, oh well.
See, that's how you deal with it. You brush it off and you go about your day.
There you go. You got to. It's hard to develop a thick skin, and boy, it's just been a long life lesson for me about just letting things go. Because if you gotten me 15 years ago, it'd be like, shut up. Now it's like, it's not worth it. Go
with age, man.
Go do something that makes you happy,
Hell yeah. But yeah, coming back around, this Whisper Network, this obviously goes pretty deep. Why is Patton Oswalt getting involved with Comicsgate shit? Why is he getting involved with Tess Fowler? Where's the connection there?
Yeah, I wonder. I do wonder.
Because Tess Fowler is not really anybody. I mean, I think she's a writer.
Well,
I did a video on her.
Patton Oswalt is barely a somebody. So.
Well, yeah, and that was a comment that I made on this. I was like, you can go back to being irrelevant now. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It might be just a couple of degrees of separation, and someone that Tess Fowler knows Patton Oswalt, and said, could you retweet this and something like that. So, but who knows?
Look at this. This is it. I didn't read through all these comments, but this is interesting here from Larry West. Comicsgate is just disgusting. I've been a big comic book fan for years, and I've been lucky enough to avoid it, but they are so gross. They got Sean Murphy to quit Twitter for, get this, apologizing for saying BLM was bad. What the fuck is he talking about?
Why would any of us drive someone off the internet at Comicsgate, given that I think most of us are politically conservative or moderate with some exceptions? Why would we drive anyone off of Twitter for saying BLM is bad? That's not what we do. I think a lot of us probably, I'll say, myself personally, I had a lot of things about Black Lives Matter that I think are not good. So I wouldn't, first of all, I don't know that I'd drive anyone off of Twitter, but no. And I also wonder, is this guy really a comics book fan?
Well, that's a fair assessment as well.
No, that's insane.
I figured that SGM left Twitter because of the hordes of people that gave him shit for starting an Indiegogo campaign as a dog whistle to Comicsgate. Mm-hmm. That's why I assumed he left Twitter.
So.
Vasikazi says, does the Whisper Network have proof that Patton whacked his wife? I don't know. Maybe.
I think didn't his wife pass away from cancer?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so. She was actually someone who I saw this in a YouTube video, so take it for what it's worth, but was actually involved in actually trying to track down the Golden State Killer. That there were just a lot of amateur sleuths, and apparently there's a whole big online network that goes out and looks at cold cases, and apparently she played some role in it. Memory's a little vague, but at any rate, FYI.
Huh. Interesting. We got Melvin Allen. Hail, brother. Welcome to the chat. He says the connection with Oswalt and the others is that they are all SJWs.
Very true. Very, very true.
Yeah, I mean, Patton, he is a nobody. It was so weird to see him getting involved in something that he has nothing to do with. I mean, maybe he's a comic book fan, but he's not like one of those celebrities that, there's some celebrities out there that are comic book fans. Mm-hmm. And then there's Patton Oswalt, who is just like, oh, these people are disgusting.
Yeah. So, yeah, my guess is he knows her, Tess Fowler, through somebody. But again, who knows?
I don't know. Just that was weird, especially right on the heels of this Whisper Network thing. That we got Patton Oswalt chiming in like his opinion means something to us.
Yeah, think again.
It's like every time Alyssa Milano opens her mouth on Twitter, I just go, oh, God. Did you see like her most recent tweet?
I don't think so.
Oh, this was good. She's basically showing the world that all these people are just sheep. Alyssa. I don't even know how to spell her name. Alyssa Milano. There we go. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. She pinned the tweet, so it's really easy for me to find.
Awesome.
This is how very generous of her. All right. She says, repeat after me. I will support Joe Biden's VP pick. I will not allow the media to tear down a female candidate. I'll call out any Democrat for publicly bashing Biden's VP pick. This election is life or death for many. We don't have the luxury to complain. Let's get to work.
Well, I'm not sure what to say to that. I mean, not allow a media to tear down a female candidate. You're assuming it's a female candidate, which is a pretty safe assumption. I'll say that. The media to tear down, which media is going to tear it down? I mean, which media other than maybe, Fox News on Right Word is not, if not exactly in Biden's back pocket, is certainly very sympathetic to him. So
I was going to say, most of the news outlets are very, very Democratic and very biased towards the left. I don't see any media outlet I don't see any mainstream, let's put it that way. I don't see any mainstream media outlets bashing Biden's VP pick if it's a woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening at all.
No, I don't either. And that is, it's silly. I'll call out any Democrat for publicly bashing Biden's VP pick. Well, okay, Democrats, you better be shaking in your boots there, because Melissa Milano is going to be on your back if if you criticize, which I don't know. I doubt. I mean, look, if it is a woman, if it is a black woman, I doubt any Democrat is going to criticize Biden, because no one's or criticize the VP pick, because you do not want to be accused. I mean, the immediate response is going to be something along the lines of racist and sexist. So, Democrats aren't going to are not going to criticize that. So, I don't know. This just comes off as false bravado. Firing away at things that you don't have to worry about actually following up on any of this, because none of this is going to happen.
Yeah,
so brave.
But also, what baffles me is a tweet that was made 22 hours ago, almost a stupid tweet like this, has almost 100,000 likes, has over 90,000 likes.
That surprises you?
Are there just that many bots on Twitter? There can't be that many brainwashed people that are like, I will support Joe Biden's VP pick. I will not allow the media to tear down a female candidate.
It's Twitter. Not much surprises me about that anymore. So
it just amazes me that she seemingly has so much pull, and I'm sure that's why she feels so entitled that her opinion means so much, is because she has all of these people that's seemingly suck her dick. Mm-hmm. Or I'm sorry, suck her clit. She's a woman. No misgendering here.
Very fair enough.
Hex Allen says every election is life and death, and the most important of our generation.
Yeah, that's been the case since.
It's a marketing tool.
Yeah, since at least 2004.
And if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you are a racist. That's been my favorite so far this year, I think. If you don't vote Biden, you are automatically a racist.
Yeah.
I mean, even Joe Biden said that. I had a video clip of Joe Biden saying, "You ain't black if you don't vote for me." I know, deep sigh.
Yeah, well, this election would be a lot more fun without the pandemic going on. But we'll see. I mean, he might end up being the next president. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But it's going to be a tough election.
Well, when he molests girls while he's in office, we'll all go, "I told you so." Told you so. Anyhow, okay.
Speaking of young people, did you happen to see what Ben Shapiro did about this this Netflix show, The Babysitter's Club?
No, I talked about the show a little bit, but what did he say, or what did he do?
Well, I'll let me find the. Actually, I've got the clip here, so let me. We'll just show it. Let me set it up here. Apparently, this Babysitter's Club, which is a show for like 10-year-olds, is taking is addressing the transgender issue with someone that is not, with someone who's basically using kid actors to address the transgender issue. And so let me bring that up, and we'll just
I would have to argue that this show is not for 9 and 10-year-olds. It's for the 25 to 45-year-olds who are just weird.
Yeah,
I have to agree with Charles.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
We good to go?
Should be.
All righty.
I know that you guys are busy, but as you would see, if you looked at her and not her chart, Bailey is not a boy. And by treating her like one, you are completely ignoring who she is. You're making her feel insignificant and humiliated. And that's not going to help her feel good or safe or calm. So, from here on out, please recognize her for who she is. And if at all,
that doctor's face.
Mom's hospital gown.
Okay, this is insane. From the Babysitter's Club. This is a show for
can
kids,
you hold on?
right?
All right, I'll stop it there because I don't want the YouTube's algorithm to flag you for having a clip too long. But I really hope you're right. That is not a kids show, because they have no business addressing that kind of an issue on a kids show. All right, for 9 or 10 years olds.
No.
There are things that are not for kids. I let my kid listen to Judas Priest's British Steel album. There are a lot of songs by Judas Priest I'm not going to let him listen to because he ain't ready for them.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, these are my eye drops, big guy. Oh, they're the same. I just got two bottles of the same thing.
Why this one doesn't have eyes, that one does?
Because they're different brands.
That one's for me and that one's for you.
No, they're both for me. But I put them on you. I use them for you when you got something in your eye. Help wash it out. Okay. Not sure you understood that explanation, but.
Why mommy wants me to have in the thing? He doesn't. My mom doesn't let me have it. My mom just.
Okay, we'll talk in a minute. Okay, but yeah, no, there's another show I'm adding to my list that I'm not going to let my kid watch. There was another instance of this a couple of months ago. I'm trying to remember what the name. It was a cartoon show, and they'd hired a guy who is considers himself transgendered, and he's talking about how kids, he was talking in an interview about how kids understand that there are more than two genders now. I'm like, no, they don't. My kid's still trying to figure out boys and girls,
Yeah.
I mean, this world is confusing enough with just the basics for kids. They shouldn't be, we shouldn't be exposing this to them to this nonsense. This is for
not on a mass scale. No. If you raise your children how you see fit, but you don't force your parenting onto me.
Yeah, keep your kids show about kids themes. There's a time and place to discuss that kind of an issue. As kids grow up, they will run into that soon enough. For God's sakes, let them have a childhood. Yeah. So. Well, at any rate, why don't I maybe just let people know that the about Tilt one more time, because the native is growing a little restless back here. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right. Let me we'll pull the campaign page back up and talk a little bit about issue 1 and issue 2. Since you got issue 1 is still in demand, still available with very limited copies left.
Yeah, you can get both covers. You can get just the standard cover, the variant cover. There's only one of the variant cover in that tier left. I think there's about 9 of the both covers and 7 of the standard cover. Just going to be up here as long as there are still copies. You can still get a deck of cards. You can still get Lenore's pinup. Since I met my stretch goal, you'll be getting the 2 free pinups if you purchase. And yeah, we are attacking the styrofoam again. Styrofoam needs to get back in line. So at any rate, and then I've launched the sign up page for Tilt issue 2 today. So go ahead and sign up for that. It is we just started with the artwork yesterday, and I'm hoping to launch the campaign sometime in late September. And everything for the first issue of Tilt, other than someone who ordered it recently and one misshipment that I've had, everything's been fulfilled. It's all been shipped. So if you sign up for Tilt for the second issue, you already know that I follow through on my word. And I also want to say tout myself a little bit here. The campaign for Tilt ended on May 21st. I started shipping June 16th. So I have a pretty fast turnaround time, I think. And I'm going to do the same thing this time as well. So you should start getting your stuff within, maybe not exactly a month, but, within probably within 2 months for most people. So that's kind of the model that I'm trying to develop here. So yeah, like I said, I've got just about everything shipped, and I think the only people who are actually waiting on their shipments are overseas, which can take a while, but it has been shipped. So
very awesome.
And that's about it. So do sign up for Tilt issue 2. Of course, when I launch the campaign, if you've not purchased issue 1, there will be the option to do that, of course. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Are you going to do a second printing
of
issue 1?
No, I don't think so at this point. Just because, not that I think it's a bad idea. I don't. It's just that I'm trying to get issue 2 out so that if you want to order issue 1, you can do it with Tilt issue 2. My point being is that getting these things turned around that fast, I've only got so many hours in the day. You've only got so many hours a day, right? So, I'd like to get issue 2 to people by the end of this year, and so some things have to suffer, like doing a second printing of issue 1. So that's why I'm not.
I got you. I was just something that popped in my head. It's like, I wonder if he's going to offer a second printing on the next campaign, but it's just going to be still the first printing just available on the issue 2 campaign.
Yeah, and the PDF is going to be available for quite some time. So, don't need a printer for that.
Yeah, that's easy money right there.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Adam, for having me on your show again.
My pleasure, man.
It's been
my
fun.
Pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Thank you guys, everybody in the chat, for coming and hanging out on a Sunday. I know it's probably thrown a wrench in everybody's weekend that we didn't go live yesterday. We're here today. We didn't want to let you down. We didn't want to skip a weekend. I told Doc we could come on, had to do some rescheduling yesterday, but that's just how life goes. But yes, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Hail the chat. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate you hanging out with us, and we'll see you again next weekend. I got one video that I'm going to leave you guys with as we sign off here, and it's a bit of a doozy. So enjoy, have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time.
They're not supposed to wear them. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Even the school requires children under the age of 10 not to wear them. So why would I make them wear them? Why? You're so ridiculous. You take care of yourself. Bye. That's such a great thing to say to someone.